Hey everyone, this is Jesse here. You're watching JLSComics. I'm going to do my new comic book haul now. And a funny thing happened this week. I actually got more independent books than Marvel or DC, so I kind of saw that coming, but I'm going to show you those and all the books I got, so stay tuned, that's coming up. So the first book I got here is Skyborn by Frank Cho. This is put out by Boom Studios. This is the regular cover here. This is a pretty cool story. It kind of delves into King Arthur. It's kind of a blend in the modern times of King Arthur and Indiana Jones. In fact, Frank Cho said that in the back. Jumps right into the action. It's a 5-part miniseries here. So this is part 105, and the back cover's neat too. Jumps right into the action, right into a chase. They're looking for Excalibur, the sword from King Arthur. And they go for a meeting, and some stuff happens, and there's a chase that ensues, and there's this lady here. Her name's Grace Skyborn. That's her right there. And they're just basically chasing after the sword, and you can see how strong she is. Typical Frank Cho type of a woman. But some of the things she does, for example, and I'm going to show you these, and hopefully some other stuff. She can cut people up real good. And then you got a good idea of the art that's in here. So I'll show you more of that as I'm talking here. Pretty cool story. I do see it wrapping up in 5 parts. I think that'll be good for this series. Definitely typical Frank Cho, typical story here, and it's very cinematic in the way it's told and laid out. So I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. And I kind of was envisioning this sort of almost as a movie, or a plot for a movie as it was going through. So it's pretty neat. I'm looking forward to seeing issue number 2. Alright, so that is Skyborn, issue number 1 of 5. Oh, the other thing I want to tell you is that there are so many variant covers for it, and I'm going to pop these up on the screen. There's Red Sky, Baltimore Comic-Con, Midtown, Lazarus, Merlin, Mountaintop, Artifact variant, Excalibur variant. Most of them are done by Frank Cho, but you have Dan Mora doing one for Mountaintop, Nick Robles for Merlin, and Carlos Magno doing the Lazarus variant cover. So there you go. Skyborn, issue 1. So next I got another Aftershock title. This is Alters number 1. This is from September 2016, Aftershock Comics. This is by Paul Jenkins and Layla Leyes. Tells a story. It's world building here. In here the world doesn't really know who superheroes are. So it kind of keeps a secret, and it introduces this character. We don't really know who she is too much yet, but she's writing a diary. And there's people called Alters, and they start coming out. There's only been a couple so far, and they don't really know what they do, but they can change themselves, typical superhero type of thing. They can fly, turn invisible, move things. So there's good ones, and then this bad guy shows up named Matterman. And everyone, he's like the bad guy. There's people trying to control these people. Some people got their powers. They didn't really know how to use the powers. So some things happen, like crashes, explosions. People try to fly. They couldn't steer. They float into space. And then our main hero figures out that she is also a superhero. She's writing this diary. She's got a couple of secrets to keep. She's dealing with all these things. She's got this family. This dad loves baseball and stuff, so he's looking for, the son type of figure to bring to the games. She's got a brother with cerebral palsy, and then she herself is a transgender character named Charlie, which is this character here. And on top of all that, she's dealing with this superpowers thing coming out now too. So I'm trying to stay away from. There's 2 factions. There's one group that's trying to save these people from Matterman, and then you have Matterman's group who's trying to, when these people come out, they have sensors and stuff, and they can figure out where they are, trying to get them and control them. So a lot going on with that character, a lot of world building for the first issue. It was interesting. Maybe not as much action as I was hoping, but definitely willing to pick up issue number 2 to see where that story goes. So it's pretty good. I'd recommend checking it out, at least that first issue. Glitter Bomb. This is Glitter Bomb issue number 1, and this is by Jim Zub, and he pulled on some people here, and I don't know how to say the name. It's a new artist here, Jabril Morissette fan. I think I did a pretty good job of that. That's the Morissette there. This is one of a couple covers. And this is very atypical of Jim Zub, who is also writing at this point Thunderbolts over at Marvel Comics. This is basically, it's a story about this lady. We don't really know a whole lot about her throughout, but she is in Hollywood. She was an actress. She was a child actress basically, who's trying to kind of get a new break as an adult. So she's with her agent. She gets sent out. She's with her agent. And he goes, you know, he needs something big, something more, something aspirational. He's like, have you got anything I can sell? And then she goes like this. Second page. Okay. So kind of like, you know, we get to see her hidden secret like right away. And she goes, oh my God, it's happened again. Like she can't really control it. So pretty cool splash page there too. Okay. And then, so for the story-wise, she goes out on another sort of gig, you know, to do a couple of readings and stuff, and she talks to these people. There's other people there, and they're being a little smart-ass, and like, oh, I remember you. Weren't you in that thing when you were a kid? Oh, that's why you're not getting anything, because you're still out here trying. And then, you know, she goes and she got the family. She goes to the beach instead of going home, and there's a homeless man there, and she like jumps in the water. See here, and she jumps in the water. Anyways, then she ends up going back home and stuff, and you know, not a whole, I mean, some things definitely happened, you know, like I can't say nothing happened in this and have that be a page. But this was a slower story for me. It was more atmospheric and moody. It's definitely a horror story. It's very different for Jim Zub to be doing this type of a thing. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not excited for issue number 2 as I was for some of the others, but I'll probably give it a go just to see how it is. It says Farah Durante is a middle-aged actress hunting for her next gig in the industry where youth triumphs experience. Her frustrations become an emotional lure for something horrifying out beyond the water, something ready to exact revenge on the shallow, celebrity-obsessed culture that's led her astray. So I'll probably check out issue number 2, but it's not one that I'm like, you know, eagerly waiting for. Yeah, I may just stick with the other book that Jim Zub has going on. I really like Thunderbolts, and that was kind of one of the reasons that because I like Thunderbolts so much, and I heard Jim Zub was doing this over here at Image, that I was definitely wanting to check it out. But I may just stick with Thunderbolts. So there you go. That's Glitter Bomb, issue number 1 from Image Comics. So next we have Paper Girls number 9. This is by Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chang. Issue number 9 already, Image Comics. This is a quick read. It continues to be a fun, crazy story. Not really sure who to trust or who not to trust. This thing shows up in this issue, and there's, you know, some people that are there. We don't know if we should believe them or not, you know, and that kind of ties into the twists and turns for it. It's fun, it's entertaining, sort of a light story, and I have no idea where it's gonna go. So that's one thing I like about it too. So, you know, it's a typical Cliff Chang sort of art. Crazy BKV story. So, it's good. Paper Girls, issue number 9. Next one I got is The Walking Dead 158. This is cover B. We're right into the Whisper War now, and a certain individual meets their untimely death in this issue. I won't give it away, but starts off getting right into things. So good issue, good story arc so far. There we go. Okay. Walking Dead 158. So I also found Hillbilly issue number 2. This is by Eric Powell, Albatross Comics. I do not have issue 1, so I cannot read this just yet, but the artwork on it looks pretty neat. This is the back cover. It's very Eric Powell. And it looks cool. It's very, it's black and white with just little touches of color in it, so it's neat. It looks very rough. The artwork doesn't look very clean and polished, but I think that will only add to the story, so seems neat. I'm gonna have to look for issue number 1. Okay, there it is. Guest starring the Blizzard. So this is the other Jim Zub story I was talking about, Thunderbolts. This is issue number 4 versus the Squadron Supreme. This has been fun. I've been enjoying this story so far. Tying into Civil War II a little bit, and they're still on a quest to protect Cubic, which is the little girl there. So fun little slugfest between the Thunderbolts and Squadron Supreme this issue. Next we have Spider-Gwen number 11. Definitely sticking with this story here. Very Cliff Chang-esque sort of in the artwork there. I've been liking this as well. It's kind of fun seeing a different, you know, realization of traditional characters like Frank Castle and, you know, some of the others. Jessica Drew's in here, some people like that. So it's been cool. You know, thing with her father and her identity, and just trying to figure out how to protect that and the father as well. All while Silk and, you know, people are coming after her. So been enjoying it. Next I have Deadpool v Gambit number 4. Now this one I'm gonna finish the arc, or the series. It's a 5-part mini, just to finish it, just to say I have all 5 parts, but I'm not really thrilled with it. I actually came into this wondering what were the other issues about. I forgot already, and then when I read this, it really didn't tie much back to anything except kind of giving an origin story for one of the characters in here, and it just felt like a self-contained story. The coolest part of it for me was actually the end, the preview for next issue, the final issue, Deadpool in Chun-Li's costume. Chun-Li. This one here, it's Amazing Spider-Man number 17. This is still a lead up to Dead No More. I have been enjoying this arc a lot more than the first one. I think that the story's picked up much better than from where it started. So it's definitely into some action. Some things are finally developing in each issue. And the origin of this female Electro has was interesting for me to read. I thought it didn't feel forced. It felt sort of natural for me, where some of the other redoings of characters that Marvel have done lately have felt a little checkboxy and forced. So I like this. I like the issue. Might be an important one to get because of her. So see where that character goes in the future. But for me, a female Electro does work. So, you know, we always talk about gender swapping and should we do this or not. For me, for her, that worked. Next one here, Deadpool number 17. Fun, zany, typical Deadpool story. I dropped Mercs for the Money just because we get all of the Mercs for the money here in this. So it felt a little redundant to me to have both. That's the Marvel books I got. Let's talk about some DC books. Really only a couple Marvels, some DC, and like I said at the beginning, first time really that I got more independence than anything else. So these are a couple here that, you know, just a few. Batman here, this is issue number 6. This is by Tom King, Ivan Reyes, and a couple other folks. Kind of the start, in the middle of arcs. The first one ended with her brother Something happened to him. Now she's really dealing with it and upset with it. I've been liking this story, especially as a new arc. Gotham Girl is really going through some tough times right now, and Batman's there, and you know, instead of fighting her and defeating her, he wants to figure out her and actually help her. And some things happen where he's asking Arthur about what happened when his parents died. He was there holding his mother in his arms, and you could feel the blood. And basically, you know, Gotham Girl is basically saying, like, because she's flying around, like, helping, you know, people, saving some people and stuff. And he's like, why are you doing this? And it's killing her at the same time. And basically, she says she's got to do it because it helps, because it hurts so much. You know, her brother just died. He can relate to that with his mother and what he went through helping Gotham. And there's a really nice scene at the end between them. So it's a rare moment of humanity and the human side of Batman that I really liked. I like to be able to read that. And speaking of that, it's another book that I like is this one. So we have Superman. This is issues 5 and 6. This has been a really awesome story with the Eradicator, fighting the Eradicator. This one here actually happens to be a price variant. Let's see, $3.99. They're normally $2.99. So different there. And then in terms, and I've mentioned this in previous videos, but on the regular it says direct sales, and then over here it's actually blank where that is, indicating the newsstand. Okay. So anyways, it's a cool story with the Eradicator. You kind of like, there was one issue, I think it was issue 2 or 3, where the Eradicator just like killed Crypto and like sucked them in with the rest of the souls that the Eradicator has trapped. So I thought Crypto was dead, and they're fighting with him, and it's cool. In issue 5, you know, they're really getting heavy into it, and this is the culmination of the arc. So this is awesome. They're on the moon. Lois is in the Hellbat suit. It's just awesome story. So they talk about that. It's like global, cosmic, you know, the whole world's at risk. But then you have Superman dealing with his family and his son, and again, like I said with Batman, that human aspect to it. Really liked it. And the next arc should be pretty interesting as well. It's called Hometown Pride. Okay, so there's that. Another one here is Harley Quinn. This is issue number 3, and we're pretty much at the end of this arc as well with the zombies on Coney Island. Pretty much resolved. Typical Harley Quinn story. Got Poison Ivy there as well, so that was fun. This one's been interesting as well. This is James Tynion, Eddie Barrows doing detective. This deals with the team, with Red Robin, with Batwoman. Batman is in there as well, but it's more about the team that they have assembled versus Batman himself. It's pretty interesting. Red Robin has some things happening that not sure if he's willing to survive or not, but he's very smart, and they have this place right downtown in Gotham, so that's pretty cool. Another one I got, another price variant, newsstand, is this, Flash. Haven't been reading this, but I really liked this cover, so I had to pick it up, and I saw it at Barnes & Noble, which is where I get the newsstands. You can see there. That's what I was telling you about. Right there, it would say direct sales. Just like the cover, and I figured why not get a newsstand price variant. So there you go. That's what I got for my new books. Liked them all. There are some that I liked more than others. Looking forward to next month, next haul, next new comic book haul. That might be in a couple weeks. But check out the channel here on Tuesday. We have another special guest coming up that will be fun to talk to from a really great indie title that is sold out everywhere. It'll be fun to talk to him and kind of see his his experience and, you know, the questions that we normally ask. So I'm definitely looking forward to that and hanging out with our great panel once again for Comic Conversation. That's Tuesday night, 7:30 Eastern Time. But leave me some comments here. Let me know your thoughts, and be happy to reply to those and talk with you guys. If it's your first time stopping by, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. And that'll do it. This is Jesse here, JLSComics. I'll see you soon.